Greetings and welcome to all of you who are following this online all over Africa and elsewhere. I have great pleasure in inviting you to this conference, the second edition of the AI Africa Week 2025, in parallel with the AI Action Summit in Paris, organized by the network of the ODCI, which is present in 16 countries in Africa and the Middle East, but also supporting more than 11.2 million young people and 300 startups. Today, we have more than 30,000 participants who've registered, meaning that there is great interest in these topics, articulated around the impact of AI on our business challenges, but also AI and sustainability, AI in the teams, AI and cybersecurity, as well as AI and employability. Let me remind you that you can follow this conference both in French and English. Why don't we now kick off and invite Mr. Steve JARRETT and Mr. Brelotte to join us up here on stage.
Je reprends tout au début. Okay. Okay. I will receive Steve JARRETT, Chief EI Officer, Orange Innovation, and Brelotte, Deputy CEO, Middle East Africa. Many thanks to both of you. EI represents an incredible revolution in the gain in operational efficiency, time saving, improved customer experience, but it also raised a number of questions about ethics, about cybersecurity and regulatory. So, Steve, this week, the ER for Action Summit is taking place in Paris. As a Chief EI Officer for Orange Group, can you tell us more about Orange approach to EI?
Yes, and thank you for having me, and I'm so excited that so many of you are with us today. I think AI is really an entirely new era of how we interact with computers. And AI is the basis of that, and generative AI gives us this power of interacting very naturally with computers and really taking advantage of all of their capabilities. And we're using that at Orange all across the business in many different forms that you'll hear about soon. We also think about doing that in a way where we leverage our research teams to really take advantage of building state-of-the-art systems. And we also do that in a way that's inclusive and also responsible. And I think those missions really align with the core values of Orange and using this technology to improve our daily lives.
Thank you so much, Steve. Hi, Brelotte. What does it mean for OMEA region? And what are your ambitions on AI?
Translate to the core mission and values of Orange. You know that our mission statement is to give everyone the keys of a digital responsible world. And all these words have a very deep meaning when it comes to AI. AI is bringing a big revolution in Africa, and it's happening now, by the way. When we look at the figures, AI is expected to bring an additional $3 trillion in terms of contribution to the GDP in Africa by 2030. When we look at the countries where you already have a policy on AI, it's roughly 15 as we speak and the number is increasing. So it's happening now, and what Orange is doing is really to help transforming the country using AI. And we're doing it by two means. The first is, of course, as an operator, we're embedding all these technologies in our operations, be it in customer journey, on how we're operating the networks, or driving efficiency in operations. But more importantly, we're doing it in enabling the whole ecosystem, be startups or B2B, to really embrace this technology. You know, in Africa, we have many challenges that are related to, for instance, urbanization, improving our agriculture, improving infrastructures. But the transformative impact of AI outweigh all these challenges, and no matter how overwhelming they may seem. So for us, it's really helping the whole ecosystem to use these technologies to transform the continent. It's very obvious that the algorithm that will be, for instance, developed in Finland will not apply to Guinea-Bissau, for instance, when it comes to crops protection. And in the same way, Africa is very diverse. If you come with an algorithm to detect early signs of crops degradation of cashew nuts, for instance, in Guinea-Bissau or in Ivory Coast, there are little chance that these tools will help, for instance, Botswana to improve the efficiency of diamond mining. So it's very important that it's localized so that we empower the whole ecosystem to use these technologies. And it's, of course, raising awareness, training, leveraging on ODC. You mentioned the ODC in the beginning, and this is clearly a key asset for us in this journey.
Thank you so much, Brelotte. Steve, Brelotte mentioned that AI will impact all the ecosystem. Can you give us some few concrete examples on how AI impact our day-to-day?
Sure. At Orange, we really think about it in three domains. The first is in our networks, our core business. We can use AI today to plan how we spend money to deploy this to the networks. We use AI to look for anomalous behavior, to try to understand where there may be a potential failure in the network, and not only detect that, but understand what was the root cause of that problem and try to solve it before the customer even notices. And if we can do that very well, it could also help us with field services, where the idea that if there's a problem in the field and sending the truck out to the site, you can imagine is very expensive, and it also consumes a lot of CO2. So being able to be much more efficient at that is a big impact for the company. The second area is around customer experience. And there, we try to better predict what kinds of offers would be interesting to people to keep them at Orange, and also to attract them to new services and products that we offer. And then in the customer experience domain relating to customer support, we have people speaking many languages to us. On the phone, they speak many languages when they write to us for customer care and support. And being able to use AI to understand all of those languages is really important for us, because we want to be able to give great customer service to these people, and we want to empower the people that work at Orange that help those customers to give great service. And the third domain is around operating efficiency and giving the power of AI on a daily basis to all of our employees. So we built an internal tool that has many different AI models in it, ranging from OpenAI to Mistral, who we announced a deal with yesterday, and Google and others. And it allows employees to do coding, improve the documents that they're writing, to transcribe meetings that are in a language that I don't understand. And to be able to do that at scale is really powerful. In fact, we've had over 60,000 employees use this tool at least once, which is an incredible number. And so we're focusing, like today, on better training to help people understand how to go even further and use it. And in fact, the product was so successful that we're now selling it externally to B2B customers, and we call it Live Intelligence.
Thank you so much, Steve. Brelotte, Steve mentioned three main domains: network, customer experience, efficiency, operational. In the OMEA side, can we have also some concrete example depending on our specific context in Africa?
You know, AI is already reality, as I mentioned earlier, and it's happening now. In the network, for instance, we are automating the way our networks are working. For instance, in Africa, we have a NOC that is in Dakar and in Abidjan, and reaching very soon what we call level 4, meaning zero-touch network. With the predictive AI, we'll be able to anticipate on network failures and fix it before it occurs, given all the data that we have and all the past failure that we had. So this means, of course, efficiency. It means also excellence in operations. Our customers will no longer have downtime related to the network. So this is first example. The second is related to energy. You know that energy is a very big issue in Africa. We have many countries where grid availability is very low. So it means that we're coming with alternative solutions to power the networks. And it's very, very important to do it in a very efficient way. And with AI, we can have the promise of zero traffic, zero network power, and zero carbon emission, which is also very important for the environment. And how we're doing that, for instance, during the night, you have very few customers that are using the network. So we basically shut down many network elements so that we don't consume and we don't have also carbon emission related to that. So this is a second example where AI tools are helping to address this challenge of energy in Africa. And as I mentioned, for us, leveraging on AI is, of course, using it internally, but enabling the ecosystem. And I'll just take two examples of that. The first is Tom AI, which is a startup that has been grown within the Orange Fab, a Moroccan startup that is really using AI tools to address some challenges on customer experience. Steve mentioned this area, which is very, very important to interact with customers. And we have helped them within the Orange Digital Center. And very recently, they raised €1 million to accelerate. The second example is the Orange Summer Challenge. Every year, we are organizing some hackathon, leveraging on ODC, and it starts by training people. Steve mentioned the point on training, which is very key. If we are to embrace this technology, people need to be trained, aware, and use all these tools. And we organizing this hackathon within the ODC and with our partners, be it AWS or EY, so that people can use the technology in a very effective way to come with solutions that are relevant in their environment. And last year, we were very proud to say that in Jordan, a small team trained came with a very innovative solution to bring capabilities to blind people using AI tools within image recognition so that these blind people no longer need someone to help them go to, for instance, grocery, but with the glasses powered by AI, they can go directly to do it. So this is really the promise, using it internally, but enabling this ecosystem so that across the board in Africa, young people, startups will come with relevant solutions for the ecosystem. And in this case, it will have a very transformative impact in Africa.
Thank you, Brelotte. We see that AI impact all the ecosystem. We see the impact on the customer experience, on the network, on the efficiency operational. And in the other side, AI have to tackle some challenge. So, Steve, what does it mean for you, responsible AI or inclusive AI? What does it mean for Orange?
It's a great and really important question. So for us, responsible AI means using the right tool for the right problem. Because you don't always want to use this massive large language model to solve a problem that you could solve with a much simpler tool. Because the cost will be lower, you'll be able to understand much better what is that tool doing, because sometimes large language models are hard to really understand how they're making decisions. And also it consumes a lot less CO2. And so for all of those reasons, training is really important for us to be able to enable all of you to make good decisions between using a simple tool for a simple problem and the most complex tools like large language models when there's no alternative. In terms of inclusive, a big part of it is what Brelotte was talking about enabling companies, partners like TUM and others, work we do internally to enable people to speak whatever language they know and be able to interact with AIs. And how do we provide those systems in ways that are cheaper and cheaper so that everyone can take full advantage of this exciting new era. We're also really early mover in ethics. So we have an ethics board that's full of external experts that advise us on really complex challenges in all the countries we've trained people, and you'll hear more about that today. And I think the third thing is really about training. So we've had over 1.2 million people go through the Orange Digital Centers, which is an incredible number. And of those, 500 of them have been trained specifically to become data engineers. And so we see this kind of training like we're doing today as this wonderful opportunity to extend the reach and the power of these tools to enable all of you to be more effective and efficient in your daily lives, and also see how really this AI power can really give you this ability to tackle challenges that would be really difficult otherwise.
Thank you so much, Steve. Brelotte, right now we are talking about AI and inclusion. How AI can help us to tackle some issue to reduce inequality in Africa. What does it mean for you in the OMEA side?
Well, when I started going back to our mission statement, which is inclusion. For us, technology to be positive should be inclusive. And as mentioned by Steve, we're very intentional in this regard. When I look at inclusion, there is one big gap today on availability of, for instance, local languages in the internet. You have 3,000 times more contents in English than in the local languages, how big they are in Africa, being Swahili, Lingala, or Wolof, or you name it. So we're working with Steve's team, with our partners, OpenAI, Meta, to have LLMs in local languages. And this will be very key to help people in the ground using these technologies, because language will no longer be a barrier. This is number one. And the second, we can have tools, LLM tools and AI tools that are working in local languages, so that someone in Mali or in Guinea or in Morocco can interact with the usual tools, be it a bot or others in the local languages with voice to text or voice to voice. This will include massively people that till now could not use some tools, applications, because they cannot read or write. So this is a big opportunity to include more people. And of course, there are some requirements, availability of data, and ethics is also very important, because when we train models in, for instance, in Europe, in one domain, be it on recruiting people or in agriculture, there is little chance that they can apply as it is in another African country. So the challenge that we have, and also the opportunity, is to make sure that people are trained, tools are available in local languages, so that startups and you guys that are connected can come with relevant solutions to the communities.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Steve and Brelotte. Now, if you had a last word for our audience, what would it, Steve?
For me, I think this new era of being able to interact naturally with computers really opens up the possibilities of allowing you to realize all of these ideas and dreams that you have. And so I think allowing us to give these tools to everyone across the region and transforming daily lives is really exciting, and it's a new era.
Thank you so much, Steve. Brelotte?
Yes, I think, as mentioned by Steve, we're really at the beginning of something that will be massive, that has already started, and that has a very, very big transformative potential impact in Africa. And as I mentioned, we have many challenges in Africa, be it security, addressing the challenge of agriculture, more productive agriculture, infrastructures, and the potential of AI far outweigh these challenges. And we have a unique opportunity to seize all these new tools and to transform Africa and overcome these challenges. So I'm very excited that we have all these people connected that are getting interested into this topic, and the ODCs and all the assets that we have on the ground to help unlock this potential of AI in Africa.
Yes, thank you, Brelotte. AI is really an opportunity for all in Africa. And thank you so much, Steve. Thank you so much, Brelotte. It was really interesting. Thank you, guys.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
And enjoy the day.